Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the news. It's Friday morning. We're back. I know. And because we're off a week, man, we got news. So let's just jump right into it real quick. Let's see what the weather has in store for us. And what is the weather looking like today, Fernando?
79 in a beautiful Clearwater, Florida. 79.
It was very rainy, I guess, between last night
It's
and
been
today.
raining all week.
I don't know. It didn't rain on the drive-in, so I had the top down.
But still rains.
And I was thinking that was probably a bad idea, but it didn't get me wet, so I didn't care.
Nice.
So,
yes.
Oh my gosh, have we got stories upon stories for you? To answer the question, Monday we are going to be off. We just found out yesterday I think, that
yesterday?
Yeah, I know. We just found out yesterday we're going to be off Monday, which is wonderful. So that means there'll be no Monday evening show. I know, a total bummer, but hey.
But it's good for us.
Enjoy your time off, guys. And
yeah.
I will desperately enjoy mine because we're still trying to recoup from Knowledge Fest for sure. And, you know, thinking of Knowledge Fest, new news out of Knowledge Fest is Knowledge Fest West, which is the Los Angeles show. I'm sorry,
the California show.
Where was it at?
Moved. It was in.
Was it a beach?
God.
Yeah. Anyways, I know. And so, bummer, Bobby. We won't get to see you next year, but we'll be going to Vegas this year, so that'll be wonderful. Rub it in, man. Rub it in. And then also introduced. And now, if you're in the industry and you're interested to going to this show, head over to their website. Of course, we'll have links in the description to all the stories. So if you'd like the full deep dive, wait till the show is over and you can click on and get into those. And then also announced last week, Thursday, new 12-volt trade show launched by Mobile Solutions. That's right, Mobile Solutions is getting into the trade show game. This is nothing new for them. They have the classes that they teach there. This is just going to be something on a scale that they have never done before.
I still feel, this is going to be industry.
This is industry only. Both of these are industry only, but hey, you know, some of you guys are in the industry.
No, so that's what I'm saying. I just like.
I mean, hey, if you got the money, this is pay-per-view though. So if you got the money, I mean, I don't know. There's so few.
I don't know.
I mean, you got the money, because this one's going to cost. This one is not going to be, supported by manufacturers. Knowledge Fest is supported by manufacturers, so most manufacturers give out a coupon code.
Yeah.
At registration, you do have to give your whereabouts so they know that you're in industry. I don't know how he's doing
other than paying, that's fine if you're going to pay, but I don't know if you're going to get in if you're not in the industry. I don't know.
Well, it's not even worth talking about them because you haven't done your research on it.
Yeah, I don't.
So why does it matter?
Well, what about if they want to go?
Well, they can go to the website and find out.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
they have to go. They're gonna put it more information on these days.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's like a $900. So, I mean, the pay per play has already limited the amount of people that are gonna come.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
Also, this past week announced, which most of you guys were super excited to hear, was Alpine's new F1 status.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is a new idea for them in the sense that previously you could buy pieces a la carte. No longer. This is a boxed set. So when you get this product, you're going to have to buy all of it. It is going to come with a set of 2-inch tweeters, 3-inch mid-range, 6-inch mid-bass, a 10-inch woofer, a handheld portable DAC, rebranded Alpine from Alistair Kern or whatever, one of those. That is not a radio. A lot of people have been confused thinking that's a radio. That is the controller for the next mod. That is the controller for that big box on the end. That is the processor, and it has one hell of a processor. There's also going to be 2 4-channel amps included in the system to power everything. So this is something that is a start to finish. You have to want to buy all of it, which is a first for them from what I've told. And this is going to come with a hefty price tag. Although the price has not officially been announced, talking with some of the people that have had access to certain information, we have found the prices reportedly right now, non-fit, meaning they haven't come out and said it, it's going to be somewhere around 30 grand. So that kind of, whatever. They're not expected to sell a ton of these. Most dealers, you do have to sign up, so not every Alpine dealer can become an F1 status dealer. You do have to have certain prerequisites in order to do it, as you can imagine, because this is not going to be a basic install. This is not something you just throw in a car. This is going to be a 100% custom install for the most part, unless you're lucky enough to get a car that has, 3-in tweet, and that's a giant tweeter. So definitely going to be a lot of custom involved in putting this in. So keep that in mind if you're like, wow. Yeah, finance the car, the system, and the install, for sure. There again, if you'd like to know more about it, you can head over to alpineusa.com and or just click a link in the description. Jeez, oh man, just click a link in the description. That's not what I wanted to do. And you can find out more about that. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Right now we're trying to just...
No, what are your thoughts? I don't care about I said, what are your thoughts on this?
That's what I'm saying. Right now I'm trying to wrap around my head on the 24 192.
Okay.
This one is 32 380 high res.
Yeah, like is it 380 or 300? I thought it was 398 or something like that.
Okay, 300.
Basically the equivalent of live.
So that means it's like...
I don't know where you're going to get the content for it, but yeah.
Where are we going to play these things? Like...
Well, I mean, I think they're kind of going for the if we make it, they will come. I mean, you could do that now. There's certain... I mean, obviously you can buy that DAC right now and it'll do that, and you can play a nice set of headphones and kick back, relax, and enjoy.
This is just going to be just for a few people.
Oh, there's no question about it.
That's it. Like...
I mean, they're only expecting the retailers to sell 2 a year.
Okay.
Just 2. Which, let's be honest, we know some retailers that won't have a problem selling 2 of these a year. So, I mean, that's not the thing. It's just not made for the average consumer, for sure. I feel, the whole idea behind the F1, and it is named after the race cars, which are the experimental race car circuit. Mm-hmm. The idea behind F1 was to have the trickle-down effect, meaning stuff they develop in this will trickle down into the more inexpensive radios.
So they have a really good information about the whole technology on the DSP and everything, right?
Yeah.
They have a clock, some form of clock that is gonna switch.
Well, we'll see. All DSPs have that clock.
Yes, this is a special.
They're claiming theirs to be the fastest. Meaning, every DSP, every processor has a clock built into it that is supposed to keep everything in sync. Their sync is supposed to be down to 0.9. Whereas everyone else is somewhere around 7.0.
Right.
So they're supposed to have the fastest clocking speed to make sure. But they'd have to in order to play something at that resolution.
That's perfectly fine. So like I said, if you want to learn more about it, go to the website. They have tons of information about this.
They do have tons of information. Changing course back to reality, as it were. Metra announced 2 new access interfaces for Ford. This is going to make some of you very happy that are not happy with the factory radios that are in your base model Ford vehicles and want to retain the things like backup camera, steering wheel controls, and whatnot. This is the new plug for those of you that are curious about what the new Ford harness looks like. This is it. So we have another new harness to play with. We've come across this in the wild now in the F-150s as well as the Ford Explorers. And as far as cars that this is going to work on, just so you know, we have the E-Series 2021 and up, EcoSport 2020 and up, Escape 2020 and up, the F250, 350, 450, and 550 2020 and up, the Transit, and the Transit Connect. Notice the F-150 is missing off of this because it is a different platform, even though it uses a very similar harness. So some of the cars will get this, some of the cars will not, but if you have one of those, which I feel are like the most basic of the vehicles anyways, so this will be kind of nice. Make sure to check that your radio will fit corresponding dash kits. When you look at the image of, where's it go? When you look at the image of the dash here, as you'll notice, that is a Pioneer in the background, and that is just the Pioneer screen. So there isn't a lot, you can't like put a double din in a lot of these dashes, so make sure you check that to see if your radio will fit. Are you excited?
Oh my gosh, overjoyed. Yes.
Overjoyed for sure.
Yes.
If you have a Jeep and you're like, oh man, I wish I could put a subwoofer on the door so that I can retain all my cargo space, well, you're in luck. Stinger is partnered with Phoenix Gold, co-branded. It's basically the same company. They fall under the Amp Global, that's who owns them. Have come out with this guy here, which is a 12-inch and a 10-inch, I believe, rhino lined. Just like when you look at the page, so we'll go to the page. So they definitely came up with a ton of specifications for it. So weather resistance for harsh outdoor environments, sound dampening, scratch and crack resistant, chemical and stain resistant, impact, absorption, UV protection, provides leak-free and corrosion prevention, heavy duty 11-layer high density plywood construction. There's another one for the truck. Polyfill included to absorb standing waves. You know, and then it just kind of, the list goes on and on and on, talking about the woofer. It's a nice box. We got to see it this past weekend, and I saw it in action. They do also include the mounting hardware as well as some of the tools needed in order to put it in. So it is a start to finish design. If you don't have the cool tools to put the nutserts in, they do go through a process of how to do it without the tool in the instruction manual. If you'd like to know more about that, of course, you can download that instruction manual on their website. Links will be in the description. Wow, really banging through the news.
Yeah.
I feel I was going to spend more time on F1. But
well, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, it's a lot of information of the technology that they're using.
yeah.
But it's no information of the specifications of like, okay, the DSP, the 4 channels, how much power is that? We don't know how much power is the mid-range tweeter and the mid-bass. Yeah. So.
I mean, my initial thoughts on it is I applaud them for being willing to come out with something that's a benchmark like this.
Right.
I don't know how well it's going to sell, and I feel like most people are. I mean, if it comes out at that price point, whatever, I don't care.
I don't think it's going to be that price.
I feel like most people are going to hate on them for it, but the reality is it's not the most expensive car stereo equipment out there.
No, it's not. But for Alpine, like when you talk about Alpine, it's like right now, it's like, where are they?
Yeah, but there again, it's not like they're creating a new category for themselves. I mean,
No,
after talking with Jeff and finding out what the previous F1 stuff has gone for, none of it has been cheap. I mean, the radio in the past was $3,000 to $4,000. The amplifiers were $1,500. The speakers were $3,000. So everything has been multiples of $1,000. And of course, listening to them talk about the product in some of the podcasts, you know, this is a no holds bar, no budget. You know, what would we build if we could build anything? And I think they've pretty much done that. No, we will not be an F1 status dealer. That is for sure.
No.
Another new product introduced this weekend, which we had the honor of doing, was Sony introduced the new Mobile ES line. But also, gosh, I keep hitting the wrong button. It's too early. Mobile Solutions is offering speaker templates for Sony ES, which is the Mobile ES. So if you're going to become a dealer or you're interested in picking up some of the Sony ES products and you would like to make your own installation, do A-pillars or whatever it is you'd like to do for the subwoofer, the tweeter, head over to Mobile Solutions and you can pick up a clean wire ruler as well as a set of the new Mobile ES templates so that you can make a cool installation.
Yeah, they're nice.
They are nice.
I like the tweeter. Pretty cool.
That is an interesting tweeter. That yellow really kind of
pop.
It does. You know, it's funny too because like of all the colors you could pick to
You notice that, like, okay, yellow, copper, Alpine F1, it has a copper or kind of like yellowish
Okay.
in the speaker. Hey.
Coincidence? I mean, this is bright yellow, so I mean, it's
No,
not
no,
like
no.
you're
This
gonna
is
miss
this
this.
is oh, totally.
You know, and the gray is nice. Like the car, the Infinity they had there was, or Lexus,
That's a
the Lexus they had there. It was vinyl wrapped in that same color gray.
Do you see the Toyota Tacoma?
No.
They have ES.
No, I didn't get a chance to walk
Yeah.
over there. It
They
sound
have
good?
ES over there too.
Yeah. Well, they had because that had the 8000 in the dash. Because there was only 3 of these bad boys in the States, and they had 2 of them there. This is the new Sony high-end deck for November. So for those of you that did get the opportunity to watch the live unveil of the new Sony ES deck, it will be available and shipping in November. It is not going to be available from all Sony dealers. You do have to pre-qualify as an ES dealer. Some of the features that it is going to have is...
High resolution audio compatibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. ESS digital to analog converter.
That is the Saber DAC that we talk about often.
Built-in premium 4-channel class AV amplifier.
This one is the one that kind of threw me. I mean, for one,
Okay.
it's an AB class amplifier and a radio, and
Yep.
a single DIN chassis, which is cool.
Yes.
But it's like, why would you bother to put such a high end?
But I feel that they already have it. Remember the power?
Yeah.
So I feel the same thing, just cleaner.
But I still don't understand why this has power. I mean, I get it. Price point on this is going to be extremely reasonable as far as when you compare it to other animals in the category. I think retail was somewhere, don't quote me for sure, somewhere around $1,300.
$12.99.
Yeah, so $1,300.
So what I see is like, all right, buy the radio, put it on, speakers. It's gonna sound really good.
Yeah.
Because it has a 4-channel AV amplifier, right?
Mhm.
Boom. Then you add more power to those speakers, and then it's gonna be like,
But I feel most people that are buying this are buying the full system. I mean, I
yes
get it.
and no.
I get it at $1,300. This can go to a whole group of market.
Yeah, because
that-
how many people, they just want the radio. I just want the radio, I don't care. But now you give them a little bit more than what like a regular radio is gonna give you, like the 18 watts by 4, right? Why not? Optimum audio components. Anti-resonance dual layer chassis. That's pretty cool. Sound customization, and the high definition display is a 10.1 inch.
Let's before we get on to let's talk about the sound customization.
Uh-huh.
Some of you guys would want to know more about that. One of the most intriguing features of this radio is the DSP built into it. It actually has what I would consider a true DSP for a head unit. I think it's going to be the first one here in the United States. And why it's a true DSP as opposed to what radio manufacturers currently have, it is going to be a 6-channel output in the sense that it is a true 6-channel output. There's going to be an equalization, an EQ, parametric, associated with all 6 channels, meaning
independent.
There is an independent EQ for each channel. There is also the option, if you don't want to do that, to have one universal global EQ, but once you decide to play the parametric and go left, right, front, rear, sub, it automatically shuts off that and turns on your full big equalization. There is level control, there is time alignment. One of the unique features is the subwoofer output. The subwoofer output has either a left and right subwoofer output, a true left and right subwoofer output with independent controls, or you have a summed together into what they just call 5-channel mono output with a singular volume control. So those of you that are like, hey, that might be cool. I mean, if you have a standard box in your car, then you're going to want to leave it as 5. But if you have a current modern DSP in a car, Clarion doesn't even exist anymore. Listen, there's been things that have come out in the past that are way cooler than things we have now, but we're talking within this modern time frame. So I'm sorry I didn't preface it with the current lineup of technology. We haven't had anything like this in probably, I don't know, the last 7, 8, 9 years. So
this is just insane, man. Like
and it's gonna be
talking with
$1,300.
Chris and everything about the what the radio does and everything is like.
It will not have network mode for those of you that
No.
are going, can I do tweeter, mid, and sub? It does not have that. There is a reason for that, but you'll have to wait.
Right. So it's 10.1 inch capacitive touch, HD graphic user interface, floating display, smart connectivity. It's wire-free smartphone connectivity, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto.
Now, hang on. If you'll notice there are buttons on the top of the screen if you want to use them, and then the 2 little white dashes are assignable buttons for you. So you can get them to do different things. So think of them as fast keys.
That's fast keys, yes. And USB Type-C terminals, quick wake-up, rear view camera, and adjustable parking guidelines. iData Maestro compatible.
Which is a big deal.
A big deal. I think that one of the big deals that was Apple CarPlay,
Wireless.
Android Auto, and iData compatible.
Yeah,
right?
that was the
so
things
that
they
was
were
like one
most
of those things
excited
that like,
about.
oh my god, why you guys don't do that? And they say we're gonna do it better.
As far as it getting hot in the dash, dude, single DINs like this have been out for a really long time with that power built into it. So I don't see that as being a problem at all.
And it's 5 volt, so
Yeah, 5-volt preamp.
those buttons that you see, you can assign, you can customize all you home screen.
The source buttons.
Yeah,
the little
so
black and white circles.
They not gonna change.
No,
the
the
color
color.
is not gonna change. It's just gonna be white. They're gonna keep the same
Look and feel. for the
look and
unit.
feel from Sony. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that was one of the questions asked, like, why don't they have like RGB lighting and stuff like that on it? And they're like, no. High resolution camera inputs, yeah, on iData. So this just has a regular style camera input. Sony doesn't make any backup cameras, so they're not
No.
going to have high def or anything like that for backup cameras.
Right.
But you know,
This radio was made to grab the GS9 and just add the screen.
well, they wanted to bring it. You know, the GS9's like 5 years old.
Right. It's and so they make it better
Yeah.
with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto wireless, and a huge screen. That's what everybody wanted.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, the reality is you know, like you said, is Sony stepping up? Sony's stepping up its game when others haven't. I don't know if this is Sony stepping up their game or catching up. I feel like in the audio world, you're going to have a situation where this guy comes out with this. It's a cool set of features. Then this guy looks at it, or you know, and comes out with a cool set of features. The one thing to keep in mind about all of this, when we see it, meaning us, the group here, when we finally see the finished product, most of the time this is 2 to 3 years in the making. I know, you know, talking with the people that have been working on this project, it's 2 to 3 years they've already spent in this, and of course the mad dash towards the actual release here to get this out, to show it. Like I said, there's only 3 of these right now that exist. You know, you have X brand comes out here, Y brand comes out here, and each one of them, you know, and then we always has the, you know, armchair quarterback sit back and go, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? There's always a reason for it. You know, why is it a double DIN chassis as opposed to a single DIN chassis? Why isn't it a short chassis? Why isn't it this? Why didn't I get that? And that's just because for whatever reason the manufacturer looks at their market and says, you know, there wasn't really a need for that, and we didn't sell that feature, or and the problem is sometimes they don't even know that, like, that loud 2%, they're like, oh, why doesn't it have HDMI on it? What the heck? You know, with the amount of radios we put in where HDMI isn't even an issue, like, nobody uses it.
Why?
You know, it's kind of a strange thing.
Yeah.
You got
One
some
of the
specs.
things.
Hold on.
So yeah, one of the things actually like that was really cool about the specifications is the streaming, high-res streaming via Bluetooth. It supports 192.24 vet.
That's the LDAC.
But it's like Bluetooth, because right now you gotta plug it in.
Well, that also see that okay. So LDAC is the Sony. You know, a lot of people. Sony is LDAC. So the Moscone piece we have up there is got LDAC in it. So basically, like an iPhone is not LDAC right now.
Right.
So we don't know if the next. Obviously, we know nothing about.
No,
Apple,
but like with this technology that's expanding all these streaming audio services better, they already have it. So.
Right, and I would hope so because it's their technology.
Yeah.
So if Sony doesn't put LDAC in their own radios, I mean, why would anybody else?
Oh, yes.
You know, I'm sure Apple's going to make it difficult like they always do, and they're going to come out with their own instead of just using something like LDAC that's already out there. So we'll just have to wait and see. The other thing too is it is wireless CarPlay, so that is Wi-Fi audio as opposed to USB audio or Bluetooth audio. So I look at the high-res Bluetooth and I go, why? Because if I'm doing wireless CarPlay or wireless Android Auto, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of the times. That's why, like, if you look at the current iteration of products that have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, the Bluetooth is kind of like way down here on the bottom as far as what it's capable of doing, because why would you use it? Other than to pair up your phone, no. I was hoping they would partner with someone for cameras like Boyo Access or Echo Master. I can tell you, no. The only one that might pair with them is Excel, but you gotta remember this is a Japanese company. Japanese companies just have a hard time working with anybody other than themselves. They like to keep things in-house. Will they come out with a camera one day? You know, they might. They might. There's no reason.
And that's
why
what they want.
wouldn't.
They want the input of like, okay, what can we make it better, or what else can we make for this piece? So, backup camera with the high res, that would be cool. Yeah, totally.
I mean, I feel like when you're a manufacturer like Sony,
HD. I'm sorry, I say high res. Well,
yeah, it's the same thing. I feel like when you're coming out with a full new line, you either do it like Alpine, where it's going to be a box and comes out with everything, or
but like not everybody want a full thing. Like
no, some people just want radios.
Exactly.
Some people want, but there again, right now because of COVID, the amount of products that they can release in this line are limited. Speakers were the easiest ones to come out with because you can make speakers right now. There's no chips inside of them. You know, other than the price of metal being through the roof, you know, you're okay. The radio was definitely the hardest thing to come out with as far as getting the chips and the components and all that stuff right now. However, November, that's a good release date, right in time for Christmas. But they had to do that next. I mean, talking with them, they're really bummed. I felt bad for them because they really want to tell everybody what they have in store for them, but they just can't because they don't want to release everything and then not be able to deliver until next year.
Yeah. And this one is not gonna be out until November. So.
Do you know if it displays bitrate resolution of what is playing? Wish most decks would do that. You know, that's funny because the GS9 will do that. I didn't ask.
What?
Display bitrate. Because doesn't your GS9 display bitrate? Yeah, I wonder if it's going to do that. That's a good question. We'll have to... That's a good one. As soon as we get an opportunity, we'll definitely have to ask somebody about that. That is the one thing that is kind of irritating, is that, bitrate would be really cool, especially in like CarPlay or Android Auto, now that that's a thing. And
now I want to see what is the bit rate that I'm playing.
He's over here doing this. Oh no, this is just CD quality.
Yeah. Exactly.
But anyways, guys, that is the news. Thank you so much for tuning in this Friday morning. Tomorrow is Saturday, which means make sure you head over to YouTube, the 5-Star Car Stereo page there. We'll be live at the normal 6 o'clock, answering your questions and having a good time. Monday, because of the holiday, we got the day off, so we're going to take advantage of that and not do a show. But you can always head over to Instagram where you can find us live, usually daily, except for this week because we've just been so tired. We do 5 minutes with 5-Star over there. And for the one guy that watches it on YouTube that complains about the aspect ratio, don't complain to me, complain to Instagram. I would love nothing more than to do this aspect ratio, because I'm not a fan of this aspect ratio. But hey, those are the cards we're dealt, and those are the ones we will play. And with that, you guys have a great rest of your day. If you're off from now until, I don't know, Tuesday, you are one lucky dude. Enjoy yourself. Try to stay dry on this very wet time for us here in Florida. And if it's not raining where you're at, be safe. Don't be silly. But make sure you tune in tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the show.
Bye, guys.
Got it. See ya.